You are listening to the Marc Guzman Podcast Experience.
No. Okay.
No, next topic, we're going to give people a little short. It's going to tie into a little bit of what we talked about. Basically, what if AIG didn't get bailed out in 2008? What would have happened? So basically, to give a little brief background on 2008, this financial crash, and you're going to hear a lot of us talk about it because we do get a lot of questions regarding the 2008 financial crash. We hear it all the time with clients. One of the concerns is, what if that's going to happen again? And then we get into this conversation of the short answer is no, it's not going to happen again. It's going to be a different type of recession. It's not going to be as extreme as 2008. What happened in 2008?
Actually, more specifically, it won't happen again for the reasons that it happened in 2008, which we'll clarify on a little bit more.
Yeah, so basically in 2008, bank lenders were making all kinds of bad loans, subprime loans, subprime mortgages. I think they went down as low as 540 credit score on some loan packages. It was something crazy ridiculous. As long as you had a pulse, you could get a loan. In fact, one journalist made a point. He actually got a loan for his dog.
Well, see, and now let's take a step back. Lenders during that period of time were making bad loans. They had lowered their lending guidelines. And the primary reason they were doing this was because of mortgage insurance. Loans had, what you have to understand about the subprime market is that it primarily focused on low money down payments, 0% down, no income, no verification, that type of thing, right?
These were crap loans that they then turned around and had to sell out to investors, but no investor wanted these crap loans.
But they made these loans because of mortgage insurance. Whenever you put less than 20% down, you're going to be required to have mortgage insurance. And that essentially ensures that loan that was made by a bank will be paid back by, say, a government agency like FHA or Veterans Affairs, or even private mortgage insurance, something that's not tied to the government. Way back in the 1920s, during the recessionary period, back when banks would only do loans for 50% of the value, they had a great idea, and they came up with mortgage insurance, right? This is where these government agencies came up, that like FHA or VA, and what they basically said is, hey, I got a novel idea. Why don't you finance 90% of this property? And the bank would say, well, why would I do that? Because I'm going to insure you that in case that person defaults, then I'll pay you back. And so this goes back into what would have happened with AIG. Remember, AIG was a big insurance company, and they insured many of these loans. And these lenders got a little bit laxed with this because they have all these different insurances. And in fact, insurance companies made bets against insurance companies saying that I'll insure you if this loan goes bad. And it became one big circle.
And AIG just happened to be the biggest company,
holding the bag that was supposed to pay off the loans for all these loans that had gone bad to people who had no intention really of paying them back, because they never had any idea or responsibility to what was involved in doing this. It's a whole nother topic, just bad loans, bad loans primarily to people who had no intention of paying them back.
Yeah, so basically in order to sell, so maybe you've heard of securitization or collateralized debt obligations. So basically many of these bad loans were packaged with other securities, other types of investments sold off. Now, smart investors, again, they're not going to buy bad products, bad investment products. However, if there's insurance tied into it, all of a sudden that adds a certain level of surety that you're not going to lose so much money if loans go bad. And everything just happened to hit at once, which ended up affecting the entire United States, the global markets, and you had one giant big recession. Now, bailouts. Were the bailouts necessary for the banks?
Well, again, in my opinion, the bailouts were necessary for the banks. You're going to probably, most of the time, most public opinion would be that they should have let all the banks burn and, kind of go under. And now, had that happened, that would have been catastrophic for the economy. Remember, although the primary focus of these of this recession was the housing market, banks, had they been allowed to go under, they they made loans not only on houses but businesses, the SBA, not retailers but manufacturers making products, and who employed many people.
And everyday type of loans like credit cards, car loans.
Credit cards, yeah.
Yeah.
And so that would have created a big circular effect of what our economy, what our economy is based on is I buy from you, you buy from me, and this money is constantly circulating in exchange, and a profit's being generated. That would have all come to a big screeching halt, essentially. It would have been catastrophic for the economy, and a lot of the systems that were in place would have, many other systems in place would have been shut down.
It's something that we're not going to see again, because after that recession, there was a lot of overcorrection, and a lot of those bad loans just simply weren't made. So we're not going to see that again. Okay, next topic.